You'd be forgiven for thinking the best tablets list would be dominated by iPads. But while Apple's tablets do sit high up on this list, there are plenty of Android alternatives. We should know as we've tested all the tablets on this list, so know how well they fare against each other, though the comparisons are not always apples to apples. Every tablet makes a great device for browsing the web, video streaming, and playing games on a larger screen to see all the fine details. But the best tablet needs to offer more, including productivity tools for getting work done and special hardware for detailed drawing and pen work. We have listed the top 5 best tablets 2025, and their key features. You need to consider this to help you choose the best one for you. For more information on the product, as always, I've included a link in the description box down below, which are updated with the best prices on each product. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Be sure to stay tuned till the end so you don't miss anything. Now let's get started. Number 5. Lenovo Tab Plus. The Lenovo Tab Plus is an affordable Android tablet designed for entertainment rather than productivity. At under $290s, it's significantly cheaper than the Google Pixel tablet, whether you combine it with the dock or not, yet offers similar features. With JBL-tuned speakers and a built-in kickstand, it aims to be a versatile device for both home and on-the-go use. But how does it fare in real-world usage? I spent a few weeks with the Tab Plus to find out. The Lenovo Tab Plus has a unique design that integrates a built-in kickstand and 8 speakers into its frame. My tablet came in the dark Luna Gray color option, which looks slick. Made from metal, the body feels sturdy and more premium than the price tag would suggest. The Tab Plus features an 11.5-inch LCD screen with a 2000x1200 resolution and a 90 Hz refresh rate. The 2K display is bright and colorful, making it ideal for watching videos and browsing the web. It manages a 90 Hz refresh rate despite the price, meaning all the content looks buttery smooth. This screen is also TUV certified for eye comfort, which is just what you want from something you're going to be staring at for long periods of time. The display is good to look at and handles blacks quite well. Personally, I'd rather pick an OLED for any kind of content watching, but this screen is almost as good. The 8 JBL speakers deliver impressive 26W sound quality, especially with Dolby Atmos tuning enhancing the audio experience. There are 4 tweeters and 4 woofers, offering a balanced overall sound. When watching Dolby Atmos-compatible content, the surround sound effect is noticeable, though you'd get a better experience with a pair of headphones. And of course, it doesn't come close to a set of dedicated speakers. Number 4. OnePlus Pad 2. In recent years, OnePlus has produced some of the world's best phones and watches at below-average prices. Yet its offerings have remained largely overshadowed by industry giants like Google and Samsung. With 2023's introduction of the OnePlus Pad, the company proved it could also make arguably the most well-rounded Android tablet on the market, boasting exceptional features at a mid-range price. A year after OnePlus's first tablet showed up many of its contemporaries, it's time to see if the new OnePlus Pad 2's better specs and larger screen help offset the sting of a notably higher price tag. At a glance, the OnePlus Pad 2 doesn't do much to differentiate itself visually from its predecessor, save for a noticeable change in color this time around. The matte Nimbus Gray colorway provides a sleeker look compared to the first iteration's Halo Green. But there are some worthwhile differences to unpack here. Most notable is the absolutely gorgeous 12.1-inch 3K display. It may be only slightly larger than the original OnePlus Pad's already generous 11.6 inches, but I'll never complain about some extra screen real estate, especially when the display is this vibrant and clear. That's why I'm happy to see that the OnePlus Pad 2 also doubles down on the original's somewhat unusual 7.5 aspect ratio, giving it more width and height when compared to the average tablet. Additionally, the Pad 2's brightness has been increased to a lovely 900 nits, making this newest iteration vastly superior in outdoor environments. Case in point, I wrote some of this review while relaxing on my back patio in direct morning sunlight and was able to see everything clearly with only a minor reflection of my ugly mug on max brightness. At 129 pounds, the OnePlus Pad 2 is imperceptibly heavier than the original's 102 pounds, But it's still lighter than some popular Android tablets with 12-inch screens, such as the Galaxy Tab S9 Plus. Number 3. Xiaomi Pad 6s Pro. Xiaomi's latest high-end Android tablet is the Pad 6s Pro 12.4, and it's something of a head-turner. Sleek all-metal body and a 12.4-inch 3K display on the outside. Powerful Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor with up to 12GB memory and 512GB of storage on the inside, as well as offering buyers an alternative to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, another powerful Android tablet, and the Apple iPad Pro 2022. Xiaomi has made a tablet that appears to be able to do anything. Powerful speakers and a detailed display promise a great multimedia experience. There's also a Xiaomi Focus Pen Stylus, which, as well as letting you doodle and take notes on the Pad 6s Pro, comes with an interesting cropping feature and a rubberized cover with a kickstand. There's also the touchpad keyboard dock in the pipeline, which should let you crack on with some work when you're done with streaming and sketching. This peripheral was not provided with the review sample, sadly, and at the time of writing, neither was a release date. With prices starting at $599, the Xiaomi Pad 6s Pro is also competitively priced and could do for high-end Android tablets what the Xiaomi Pad 6 did for mid-range tablets. The top edge also features a magnetic strip for the Focus Pen Stylus to be connected to for charging and storage. Over on the right-hand side between the two speaker grills is a Type-C USB port. There are no ports, connections, or grills on the bottom edge. The front-facing camera sensor is tiny, barely noticeable in the bezel. Over on the rear is a camera module which looks like it's been transplanted from the Xiaomi 14 smartphone. It rises about 2 mm up from the rest of the tablet's body, which means that the Pad 6s Pro won't rest flush with a desktop. If I were a cynic, I'd say that the intent here is to force you to buy a protective cover with your tablet. Number 2. Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra clocks in at the same price as the Tab S9 Ultra, a $200. You can buy either right now for the same price, straight from Samsung, Best Buy, or Amazon if you want the 5G model. So availability shouldn't be an issue if you want to grab the new Tab S10 Ultra. However, that price is lofty, and while it includes the S Pen stylus, it doesn't include a keyboard case. If you want either of Samsung's two official Tab S10 Ultra keyboards, they'll set you back an additional $200 or $350, respectively, making the price of turning this tablet into a laptop replacement much higher. Once you're spending $1,500 on this tablet and a keyboard, really, you could get one heck of a laptop that does everything Android does plus plenty more. On the one hand, the design is everything you'd expect from a Samsung tablet. Small bezels, a thin body, and a lovely screen wrapped up in excellent build quality of glass and aluminum. But once you look closer, you begin to wonder what Samsung is thinking. Thin bezels might sound great, but in practice, on a large tablet, you're left with little room to hold the thing without touching or covering the screen. If the bezel wasn't so thin, Samsung could fit the front-facing camera in the bezel, but instead, there's an unsightly notch in the screen. Spending $200 on an all-screen tablet when it's hard to hold and contains a notch cutout in the screen isn't something I'd ever be keen to do or recommend. I would also be remiss not to mention that this tablet looks a lot like the last one, lining up with Samsung's recent approach of ignoring innovation, resting on its laurels, and releasing uninspired products that repeat previous work. The Tab S10 Ultra's hardware doesn't stray far from previous models or bring much new to the table to entice users. Number 1. Apple iPad Pro M4. For years, the iPad Pro has been Apple's attempt to give creative professionals a way to do the bulk of their work on a tablet rather than a laptop. But for the first time, the 2024 model actually features a more advanced CPU than a MacBook, the M4. While this may seem to be a spec bump like any other, the fact that Apple has prioritized its tablet over its MacBooks is another move in the company's attempt to make the iPad into a true laptop alternative. But it's just not there yet. Don't get me wrong, the 2024 iPad Pro is hands down the best tablet I've ever used, but you shouldn't be looking at this device as a true laptop alternative. However, if a powerful tablet built around creative workloads is specifically what you're looking for, I can't think of many other tablets that can do the job better than the new iPad Pro. I don't need to tell you the iPad Pro is a beautiful device, but, well, it is. It's incredibly thin, light, and has a gorgeous display. The big change here is how much Apple has shaved off the chassis, thinning it down to 0.21 inches, which also cuts the weight to under 1 pound for the first time. That's all well and good. And for the most part, I love holding this 11-inch iPad in my hands, but there's only so much chassis you can shave off of a device before it starts impacting durability. In my 1 week with the new iPad Pro, I obviously didn't break the thing, but I absolutely noticed that it is incredibly easy to flex the device, which simply makes me concerned about how well it will hold up in the long term. You can obviously mitigate that risk by throwing it in a case, one of which Apple sent along with the review unit. But that's an extra $79 that you need to throw into a shopping cart with an already expensive tablet. Still, it's hard to stay mad about the device's flexibility when it has one of the most beautiful displays I've ever had the pleasure of looking at.